So I am done watching The Walking Dead. I don't like it anymore.
Why not?
It insists on itself.
Okay.
Good evening or morning or night, depending on what time you're listening to this. This is The Enthusiast with one of your hosts, Jesse Nazario, over with my good buddy and flannel-wearing friend.
Will Zabo?
Good to see you, sir. You look sick.
Allergies are kicking my butt.
It is. If it doesn't sound like us, it is. I just lost my voice over the week, so I'm just started getting it back this morning. So I said we're going to go through this podcast. And you, sir, you sound like you were nasally there.
Yeah, my nose is just constantly clogged.
It is.
That's why I have this nice roll of toilet paper.
I know, my wife brought us some water down just in case for the scratchy throats. With that being said, they say when you're not feeling well, eat healthy. So we had Moe's.
We did.
Yep.
Thought that was the best thing we could have.
Yep. That's queso cheese and, steak and all that. Not always the best. So how's your week been?
Not bad. I just finally got good in For Honor, as the kids say.
All right.
I found a character that really resonates with me. Other than that, I've been mostly waiting for this week coming up to happen for Horizon and the Switch.
I know I am. Originally, I wasn't so excited for Horizon Zero Dawn because of the Switch. But it's starting to look great, so I am a little excited. So I will be picking that up with you, sir.
What about you? Anything this week?
I've been watching The Good Place. We finished that.
Okay.
Very enjoyable. Oh, and I seen Lego Batman with the kids, all of them.
What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Reviews have been great for that movie.
I can see why. It was a fun movie. It stayed nice to the Batman lore, and it still was a good time for the kids and me. A lot of the jokes went over their heads and made me and my wife crack up. So, but it was good. And to piggyback off of that. So you heard DC is doing a Nightwing movie.
I did.
And who was directing it?
Who did they get? The guy?
Chris McKay, the guy who directed the Lego Batman movie.
That's right.
See what I did there?
I did. Good segue.
It is. I thought it was pretty clever. But, so what do you think, Nightwing?
Obviously, with this guy, from what I haven't seen Lego Batman, so I can't really say much about it. But the Lego movies have always been pretty funny, have good humor. Obviously, this movie, in my opinion, will probably be a little bit more lighthearted than most of the DC movies we've seen. And will probably have a lot of lighthearted comedic value to it. Nightwing's probably going to be that smart, witty Nightwing that we know of with the one-liners.
Right. The whole big difference between him and Bruce Wayne was he didn't let the darkness consume him.
Yeah.
Movie's probably going to take place in Blue Haven, I'm guessing.
It's probably a safe bet. We don't know who they're picking for Nightwing yet. We don't know a villain.
Any suggestions on who do you think they're going to be picking? Because the rumors are right now Aaron Johnson, who played Quicksilver in the MCU universe and Kick-Ass. I've also heard, I can't remember his name, the guy who played Kylo Ren from the Star Wars movie.
Okay, Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Long-Face McGee. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, I don't know if I really like him as Nightwing. He might be able to do it. He'd have to bulk up.
You're a bulk.
Thanks.
And I've also heard Steven Yeun from Walking Dead. Insisting on itself. Either way, I'm okay with any choice as long as you somebody that can grant that character.
Well, for the guy that played from Kick-Ass, I forget his name.
Aaron Johnson.
My problem with him is, and I don't know if this was a director's issue when it came to the Avengers, or what. He wasn't a very good Quicksilver, in my opinion. He wasn't.
He would have been a terrible Flash because he was Quicksilver. Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't really like him as Quicksilver. I love who Fox has as Quicksilver.
Peter Evans.
Yeah, I think he does.
I think that was my problem. The fact is, I saw Peter Evans first, and I liked his Quicksilver so much. I don't think you could put anybody in that place and I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah. So now I don't know if that was the director's fault directing him to be that way, or if that was his own take of the character. But if he's going to be like that for Nightwing, I don't think I'd probably really enjoy it very much.
So I think as long as they cast somebody the right age and the right build, I'll be excited for it. To piggy off of that, we got some good news in the beginning of the week.
We did. For
Ben Affleck listened to this podcast. That is the only thing I could take from that.
I hope so. And I hope he hit a like.
That's exactly what it was. For those who don't know, The Batman has got its director. Who is it?
Matt Reeves.
Ooh, what movies has he done?
Planet of the Apes.
Which one?
Dawn.
The good one?
Yeah, the good one.
Oh.
I mean, they both were really good.
I do.
But I would say Dawn was better than
I agree.
Rise.
So it's really exciting that he's going to do this. What about Ben? Is he back on board?
Oh, yes, he is. When you just said Ben, it threw me off. I was like, who's Ben?
Right.
Ben Affleck.
Now that I feel like he's one of our listeners, we're on a first-name basis.
Apparently he's back on board. Now, I'm curious if maybe they did listen to this. Maybe even WB listened to our podcast. Heard, hey, WB, you guys need to back off.
I'm not saying it did happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen. All I know is last week we made a plea to them to back off so they can get a director and ask Ben Affleck to stay on board, and both things happened within the next 2 days. Coincidence? I don't know. You be the judge of that.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Hey. While we're at it, Nintendo re-release Super Mario Sunshine. Let's see if it works ever. So, super excited about this?
Yeah. You and me have talked about this numerous times, even on this podcast. So listeners know that we really like Ben Affleck's Batman. We clearly think he's the best Batman that we've ever had on screen. I really like Matt Reeves' work, too. I think he's a really great director.
He pulled emotion out of apes.
Yeah.
So, to the fact that I was siding with them.
I agree.
Man has ability. Reason I wanted to piggyback off of that today with Nightwing is, if we're getting a Nightwing movie, then most likely you think he's showing up in The Batman?
Yeah, Nightwing will probably make his first appearance in The Batman. Now,
big part, small part, what are you thinking?
I'm going to think small. Now, here's the thing. We both know that Deathstroke's the villain of the movie, and Deathstroke is mostly a Teen Titans villain.
Correct.
It would be interesting if there's a history already established between Nightwing and Deathstroke.
I'd say so.
And it'd be interesting if the reason why Bruce gets involved with Nightwing is because of something between Deathstroke and... Bruce gets involved with Deathstroke is because of something between him and Nightwing.
I agree.
Maybe it starts with a fight, or maybe at some point Deathstroke takes Nightwing hostage.
Well, they mentioned that this movie is going to contain as many villains as it can, so a lot of rumors are still that it's going to be an Arkham-type movie, Arkham Asylum.
So maybe Nightwing will team up with Batman, much like in the beginning of Red Hood, was it?
Yes. So I'm excited about seeing that. I don't want them to oversaturate the film. I still want a simple Batman movie. So as much as I would love for them to set up the Red Hood and do the Jason Todd storyline, I don't know if Jason Todd, Nightwing, all these villains, and giving us a Batman movie all at once is way too much.
See, I wouldn't mind if instead of that, what they did was small hints to Jason Todd again, like they kind of did with Batman v Superman. Maybe just small hints towards him again. Second Batman movie, if we get a second one, if Ben Affleck's still for it. Second Batman movie, we have Under the Red Hood. Brings in Jason Todd. And then, like I said I wanted, Red Hood and the Outlaws.
I know you keep saying that.
I'm going to keep saying it.
It might happen. Probably not.
If I keep saying it on this podcast, it might.
It might not. So, from good news, like Ben Affleck back on board, and a Nightwing movie. Are you excited about the Nightwing movie? I didn't even ask you. Are you excited for it?
I am. I'm not super impressed with the director they got.
Why's that?
I don't really know much of his work. And coming off of a Lego movie, I mean, obviously the Lego movie did so well that DC saw something in him to direct this movie. Mm-hmm. But to me, I was just kind of like, eh.
I can see that. I've seen people that direct children's films translate well to adult movies. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. And, at the end of the day, I like Nightwing. He's one of my favorite characters. So it'll be exciting to see him in the movie. And I think if I'm not crazy, this will be the first live-action version of Nightwing we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Chris O'Donnell's character was Robin, even in Batman and Robin when he had the Nightwing outfit.
Yeah.
Made no sense. But either do platypuses. All right, like I was saying though, for some really good news, down to something so depressing. Hellboy 3. What's going on?
100% not happening.
I know, really sad.
Yeah.
Really sad. What'd you think of the Hellboy movies?
The first one I thought was okay.
He fought Nazis.
I wasn't very impressed with the first one, but the second one, holy crap. Hellboy 2 was really good.
That's the Golden Army.
Yes. That was a really good movie.
It was.
And after that, I was always waiting for a third. And I'm a little upset that a third isn't happening. At the same time, maybe...
What made those movies so great? Because technically, on paper, they shouldn't work. You have Ron Perlman, so old.
Yeah.
Action movie, an unestablished, not well-known comic book character.
It could also be the fact
that... A horror director. Like, what made those films work well?
I think practical effects were one.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Instead of using CGI for a lot of the creatures, they used...
practical effects.
Yeah. Which, granted, they still use some CGI for some of them, but...
You mean that 100-foot creature at the end?
The 100-foot creature, and I believe the two fairies in the beginning of...
Golden Army.
Golden Army? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I believe those are the only characters that were CGI'd, though. Was the Golden Army also CGI'd?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it did look really badass.
Yeah.
Well, that elf, he was the villain.
He was so awesome.
Wasn't he? Like, oh, man. When he came through with like the sword fight and everything, I loved the
don't say the scene I'm thinking.
What's the scene you thinking?
You say it, but if it's the scene I'm thinking,
I was just gonna say the choreographing fights between them. You know what I mean? I just thought they were really well done.
Yeah, they did have really good choreograph. I also really liked when he went to go kill his father, and the knights that would.
That's exactly where I was going with it. And he slides through.
Yep.
Oh, that was good movie. I am disappointed 3 is not happening. I also feel like 2 left off really well for me, and I'm satisfied. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I'll enjoy the first 2. And besides, by this point, I figured 3 was never going to happen. Ron Perlman's like 90.
Now, do you think that this means that they're going to reboot it?
I don't know, and I don't know if they'll have the same success if they attempt to reboot it.
Because, I mean, if anything, I think now would be one of the best times to reboot. Superhero movies are known by everyone. They're not like... When Hellboy came out, superhero movies were still in that being established phase. You know? I think really now is the time that you can come out and people will go see a superhero movie just because it's a superhero movie.
I agree with you if the title Marvel's in front of it. I feel like unless you're a Marvel movie, you know what I mean? You know, I honestly think if Hellboy 2 came out nowadays against the Marvel movies, the reviews wouldn't have been as well for it. I guarantee it. Because that was a different kind of superhero movie.
That's true.
Not to mention, that movie didn't even follow its first formula. The first movie was really grounded in realism. I mean, yeah, it was a demon coming from hell, but he fought Nazis. Nothing super crazy, you know what I mean? There's a lot of tombs. It was a dark film. Translating to the second one, it's all about fairies and monsters and gnomes and goblins. Like, that's a huge step to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's establishing multiple mythos in your own franchise. That means heaven and hell exist, but so do, you know, fairy woodland creatures as well. Yeah. I think that's pretty awesome to do in a franchise.
I agree.
I know you agree because it was well said by me. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for that.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
So, what do you think's going to happen? You think we're just not going to see Hellboy again?
I don't know. There'd have to be a spike interest in his character.
Because the weird thing too is Hellboy's Dark Horse.
Yes.
So obviously we can't see him tie in with like a DC movie or a Marvel movie.
Pretty sure Dark Horse is owned by DC, isn't it?
No, I thought Vertigo. I know Vertigo is.
Maybe you're right.
I don't think Dark Horse is, but
there has been team ups and crossovers before.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hellboy versus Spawn. Remember that one?
Yeah.
I'd say if a Spawn movie does come out like they've been talking and that does well, we'll absolutely get another Hellboy of some sort. Whether it be a reboot or a remake or whatever.
And I really like the character Hellboy, so I'd like to see him make a return.
Honestly, the comic book aspect of him, not so much. The revamp they did of him after Ron Perlman took the character, I think really fixed up the character. At the end of the day, Ron Perlman made a demonic person that shaves his own horns a likable and relatable character.
Yeah.
The scene where he's got all the cats. You know what I mean? And just everything about that character was hilarious in those movies. Sometimes on YouTube, just for fun, I pull up when he's stalking the girl and the guy on the date, and he chucks the rock at his head. Like, it's just, they're fun movies. Back to movie news, and while we're on the horror section, Get Out, which I think came out yesterday, didn't it?
Yes.
How are the reviews looking?
Apparently amazing.
Amazing. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. I double checked before the podcast to see if it was still 100%, and it is. After opening day.
That is mind blowing.
It is.
Because one, I didn't think that movie. It looked interesting. Like, it looked like something that like you would see in a theater and go, oh, you know what? That's weird. Maybe I'll check it out. Did not look like something that would score so high.
Jordan Peele from Key and Peele wrote the film and directed it. It's his directing debut. So apparently, not only does that man know comedy, you know what I mean, he knows horror pretty well. So I was surprised too, because me and you watch that substitute teacher clip all the time. You know what I mean? And those guys are funny. Sorry. You want to go war with me, Balaki? But, yeah, 100%. That is awesome. When's the last time horror movies gotten this amazing reviews? I mean, granted, Lights Out was pretty well received.
Yeah, I think Don't Breathe was pretty well received at first.
You weren't that big of a fan?
No, I wasn't.
Probably was talked too much up to you there.
It was. Before I went to see it, a lot of people talked to me about it and put the bar really high. And then when I saw it, I was like, it's okay.
I always know it happened with me with God of War when that first came out. Probably got a bunch of hate mail right there. You don't like God of War? No, I love God of War. I'm just saying it was talked too much up. But so what I've seen on the reviews, they said the most scary thing about the film is the passive-aggressive racism in it, and that is the most eerie and stuff that get under your skin. And I could see that being eerie and awkward. Man, in puberty, it's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, your voice is cracking all over the place.
Shut your face. Nobody likes you.
That's all right. You got facial hair coming in.
This is our 13th episode. It works out.
Teens, yeah. It's that awkward teen phase.
So, from one movie getting amazing reviews to the next, Logan, is Hugh Jackman done with Logan?
So,
because Patrick Stewart is. He's made his announcement. This is it. No more. He's done.
Hugh Jackman said he wouldn't mind taking up the role again as long as he could be an Avenger.
Right, so the MCU.
Yes, he wants to be a part of it.
I would absolutely love to see that, and I'm not going to lie to you. I love his Wolverine, and I would love to see him and Chris Evans.
Hulk.
Him and Hulk, that would be great. You know what I mean? Him and Spider-Man. Especially with this new kid playing Spider-Man, their banter, I think it'd be great. But more importantly, with Wolverine's origin going from, going through all these wars, actually existing in World War II, it'd be nice to find out that him and Captain America had a relationship at one point. That would be awesome.
That would be sweet.
And there was a bunch of rumors about him showing up in First Avenger, even though they couldn't use him and just not using his name, but you being able to tell that it's definitely Wolverine. So that would have been pretty neat.
So I personally think that if Fox is smart, they would instantly go and talk to Disney's Marvel.
Absolutely. You know how much money could be made off of that if you just name drop Wolverine into the MCU? You wouldn't even have to explain the different timelines or anything like that. Just throw him in a film.
Because
people would be happy.
Although Thanos just started filming, you could easily throw Wolverine in at this point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's always a nice throwback. I don't know if you guys remember this. At one point, before Spider-Man was rebooted and booted again and recasted and, thrown around, thrown up in the air, stepped on, and CGI'd, there was a trilogy made by Sam Raimi. And there was an amazing movie, in my opinion, still the best Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 2. At the end of that, when Mary Jane is running through the fountain, you see a man in a black trench coat with a black buzz look behind him, and Sam Raimi came out and said that he wanted that to fans assume that was Punisher. And you know what I mean? I remember watching that and going, how awesome is that? Even though he's never listed as Punisher, there's no skull or anything like that. Just the fact that when I seen it, I was like, holy crap, is that Punisher?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was before, you could share it. They could do things like that. But so I would love to see a team up like that. You know what I mean? Especially, he's been Wolverine for 20 years now?
Yeah. I definitely would like to see it. If Fox could do it, they obviously could probably even get more movies out of him.
Absolutely.
If they can sign him for the Avengers movie, they could be like, hey, we'll get you in on Avengers, but we want 3 more movies.
And I mean, you don't even need it, because obviously the Logan trilogy is done. And to me, you got the perfect trilogy. It usually goes the other way around. You start off amazing, end up, souring and doing a Godfather 3. Your first movie was awful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Wolverine was good up until the last act of the movie. And then from what I heard, this movie is amazing. So
Yeah.
you done something right, okay?
You could just make all of his last 3 movies be cameos.
I would agree, 100%.
Just be like, hey, we'll get you in Avengers, and you have to appear in X-Men, you appear in Spider-Man, and appear in Hulk. Or,
Yep.
Because Hulk isn't allowed to have his own solo movie, apparently. Just give him a movie with Wolverine. That'd be great.
Agreed.
Wolverine versus Hulk, live action.
Yes. The Wolverine. I would be honest, you're still talking about the next X-Men movie, if it does happen. Takes place in the 90s. It's going to be a space movie with the Phoenix Saga. I'd love to see somewhere in the storyline find out that, Wolverine joined up with NASA or something like that and somehow fit him into that story. Somehow get Wolverine into space. I would be happy with that.
That'd be great.
It would be great. You're great.
Thanks. I don't hear that often.
Really?
Yeah.
That's terrible, man.
I know. Life's a terrible thing.
I wouldn't go as far to say that. Switch comes out Friday. All right. Anything else on movie news?
I believe that was it, right?
That was it.
All right.
That was it for our list. Anything else you can think of? Anything you want to see? What's the next big one? We got Wolverine is the 3rd, and then after that is Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, I believe, I thought was the same day. Is it not?
No, it's the
week after.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Power Rangers is the following week after that.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, I know. Yep. Power Rangers, I'm excited about. Beauty and the Beast, I could go in or out. Guardians of the Galaxies, within that time, it's May, if I'm not mistaken. Wonder Woman in June.
We have quite a few movies we're going to be seeing.
Yes, and then Justice League finishes it off in November.
Okay.
I'm actually really excited about the movies this year. So let's go. But I'm still crossing my fingers for Power Rangers to be amazing. So apparently this Power Rangers movie sets up a sequel.
Okay.
There's been some spoiler talk out on the internet. I might have come across it.
I feel like you didn't come across it. I feel like you searched for it.
Oh, I did search for it.
So let's get into our gaming news.
What's first on the list? One that surprises me. Crash Bandicoot comes out in June, huh?
Yes.
It's going to be on PlayStation 4?
It is going to be on PlayStation 4.
Only?
No. So apparently, the Crash trilogy will not be exclusive to PlayStation. It is a timed exclusive, so Sony will get it first. But down the road, they haven't said who else can get it, but other.
Obviously, they want to make money. Xbox One
and Switch, I think.
Yes.
You want to put it on as many things as possible.
Absolutely.
To make money.
What do you think about that? Surprising?
Yeah, a little actually. I'm surprised Sony didn't fight harder to try to keep the 3 just on Sony.
Yeah, and it'll be the first time that they've been on anything but a Sony.
No, it won't. Those 3 games, yes, but
That's
Crash has.
Crash has been on everything, yeah.
Yeah.
He hoarded himself out towards the end, man.
Once Activision got a hold of him.
Yeah, he was the lady of the night, man. He was like, Microsoft, yep, $10. I'll give you the night of your life. You know what I'm saying?
I think if the Switch gets it, that could be a big win for the Switch.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. And I'd be honest, I would not be shocked about the Switch getting it now that the sales figures are coming out. All the Switches are, spoken for. You can't even get a Pro controller, man. Everyone's sold out Pro controllers.
Yeah. That being said, though, it doesn't surprise me when you're only releasing 2 million to start.
Agreed. But not to mention they tried this with the Wii U, and they released, what, was it 4 million of the Wii U?
They released, I believe 4 million didn't even sell out of them.
They couldn't even sell out. So I'm thinking this is a good sign.
I agree.
I think there's just as much excitement for the Switch as there was the Wii. And although sales for the Wii dramatically dropped towards the end, it was that initial boost that got third party, interested. And now that we don't have them dumb motion controls holding it back, we might get actual great third party support.
I agree. And I think definitely if Crash can come out by September, I think that's a perfect spot, because right now with the Switch, our big title is going to be Zelda at launch.
All right.
And then you'll have Bomberman and 1-2 Switch to kind of hold you over until April, which will give you Mario Kart 8.
What about Just Dance?
If you're a dancer, then I'm sure. I know your wife is really excited for Just Dance.
Isn't everybody a dancer?
I am not.
What am I doing right now, brother?
Dancing.
I know. Maybe I'll walk like a
Thriller?
I was going to do Egyptian. You know what I mean?
But you have Mario Kart in April.
Right.
Splatoon 2 is in the summer.
Which I'm still really excited about.
And then we know Mario Odyssey is holiday.
Yes.
If Mario Odyssey is that November, December area.
I forgot Sonic is in there too.
When's Sonic? Do you know?
That is March.
Well, Sonic is March. So if...
Did I say March? I'm sorry. I meant spring. So sometime in April probably, or May.
Okay. If Mario, though, is going to be November, December, that leaves a small gap with nothing from the summer until then. If Crash can be that September slot, I think Switch will be in a great spot.
I agree. With that being said, what's the Xenoblade Chronicles?
Oh, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, it hasn't got a release date, but I've been looking on it. I like the new animation they're going with. The other games use realism.
This one uses more of like a chibi art style?
Yes, I've seen he's got real big anime eyes.
Yeah.
Whatever with Asians, like wanting real big eyes. I'm not trying to be racist, but Asian eyes aren't big, you know?
Maybe that's why their anime does have
Maybe
big eyes.
I don't know. It has always, confused me. But hey.
You may have stumbled upon something.
I remember watching the Digimon movie. You ever see that?
Yeah, great movie.
Isn't it? And I was thinking to myself, why are these two white-looking people living in Tokyo, man? These big American eyes. I was like, all right, whatever. Here am I to judge. But yeah, no, I really like the art style. And they say they're going to change up the gameplay, so maybe it won't be garbage this time to me. So I'm going to try this game out.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to pick up. I'm a sucker for RPGs.
And if I don't like it, on episode probably 96, 100 at the time on the podcast, you'll hear me complain about it. I don't know when it's coming out. Apparently nobody does.
On the topic of third-party support, though, for the Switch, someone has come out and said that it's possible their game might hit the Switch.
Yes. Mass Effect Andromeda.
Andromeda, yeah.
All right, Andromeda, I haven't forgiven you for Mass Effect 3. How about that's your name, okay? All right? Years I put into this little trilogy. What's my options? Oh, you need me some download content. That makes it okay. You know what it doesn't make it? It doesn't make it okay. Then I got friends of mine saying, oh no, have you heard the conspiracy theory? No, because I don't care. I haven't forgiven you. Are you picking up the new Mass Effect?
I am.
I'm not. Unless I get an apology letter with it, signed by the creator. I mean, I understand this isn't even made by the same team. I understand that. I want an apology letter made by the creator. I want it on the Switch. I want one of my party members to be able to be Mario or Link or both. It's the only way I will pick up this game, sir.
I'll tell you what, they'll probably let you get a Mario or Link armor.
I'll take it, deal. But I need my letter. If I don't get that letter, it's over. No, I am slightly excited for the game, even though I was burned really bad.
Yeah, Andromeda's looking like it's going to be pretty good. Before we get on, we can talk about Andromeda in a second, but what do you think about this?
I think that's great. And like I said earlier, I feel like with the more and more excitement coming out the Switch, Nintendo was a genius for doing that Super Bowl commercial.
Yes.
Because I know people that don't even play video games anymore, knowing that I do, asking me, hey, I was watching the Super Bowl. What was that new Nintendo thing coming out? That looked really neat. was like, wow, it's gotten other people interested in it, and just my excitement at work. I've gotten a few coworkers even talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think with that more and more excitement, you might see more and more third parties.
Have you seen what Andromeda looks like?
Yes.
Now, do you think that's going to be able to run on the Switch?
Absolutely not.
That's the problem I run into. Now, I'm curious as to how watered down they have to make the game to run on it, if they get it to run at all.
Well,
or could this be the first time we run into a game that will only play docked?
Could be. Here's what I'm thinking. It can be done. There was an amazing game franchise called Borderlands. You ever play it?
Yes.
They made a sequel to it called Borderlands 2, which also got ported to the Vita.
Uh-huh.
Right? The Vita version is the same as that game without a lot of the detail, though. They took shadows out, they took corners out, they took details out, they took out multiple enemies on the screen out. Still get the same experience, still get the same gameplay, still had great reviews, but it was able to run on a system that was nowhere near as powerful at the time. So I definitely think it's possible. It's just going to have to cut a lot of corners.
Now, that being said, would you choose that version over...
If I only had a Switch, obviously that's the only choice I'm getting. But if I have a PlayStation,
you have a PS4.
Obviously, no, I'm not going to go with that version.
And that's where I think Nintendo's going to run into the problem.
Here's the only advantage Nintendo has. I was mentioning the other day to a friend of mine how I really want to get Skyrim for the Switch until I found out it's the PS3 version. So now I'm just going to get the PlayStation 4 version. And a friend of mine said, yeah, I can understand that, but can you imagine how amazing Skyrim would be on the go? I was like, holy crap. The Switch is the only opportunity I would be able to play Skyrim on the go. That's an amazing idea. Yeah. Think about a 3-hour airplane ride with Skyrim. You can just play the crap out of Skyrim. And, before you do 2 quests, you're landing. And you have the best experience. So at the end of the day, yeah, it's going to be whether you want to give up some of the frames per seconds and your graphics for some amazing gameplay and some ability to take it on a portable Go system. Yeah, that's what's special about the Switch. Let's not forget that.
I agree. My problem with mobile gaming has always been, though, I've never really had the time while I'm out doing stuff to experience a console-like game for the amount of time I think I would want to. Like, I already feel like for Zelda, I'm probably going to bring my Switch over. I'll probably have my Switch at work with me, a couple places. But I feel like 30 minutes of Zelda on my break isn't really going to accomplish much. 30 minutes of Skyrim, I probably won't really accomplish much.
Well, as long as I heard what you can do, there's a sleep mode on the Switch, which I think is awesome. That means you don't have to be at a save point. You can literally just turn on sleep mode, pick up right from where you left off.
Yes.
Even when you're on the go, which is a good thing for that. With that being said, I can understand it is hard to get into a really single-player game on a portable system.
I have that problem with my DS.
I think everybody, or the Vita, you know what I mean? It's why I only have, it's why, if I want to finish a game for the Vita, I legitimately finish it at home. But with that being said, somebody like me and my wife who don't have a TV in our bedroom,
Switch is perfect.
The Switch is perfect.
Or, my girlfriend, she likes to play games too. And when I'm on PS4, I don't really have a lot of multiplayer games. So the Switch is also really good for her. If she wants to play something, she can undock it. Or if she's going to play something on PlayStation, and I'm like, well, I kind of want to play something, I can undock the Switch and I'm good. I just, when it comes to the mobility aspect of, and I mean, who doesn't want to bring a Switch to the bathroom with them?
I've been counting the days down for it.
Right?
Looking up waterproof cases. Oh, man. I've been stacking out my bathroom for it. I am ready, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to sit like a king on a throne.
I mean, we call the bathroom time office time as it is.
As it is.
For a reason.
Yes.
We're in there a while. And I don't even have the Switch yet, so imagine when I have that.
It's going to be bad. My wife may never see me again.
Back on the Mass Effect Andromeda, though, I'm actually really excited for it. I wasn't at first, and then I saw some videos on it. And it's bringing back some things that I think the series needed. One, it looks like the RPG elements that they took out are coming back.
Okay.
With the action gameplay from 2 and 3.
Okay.
I really like that. They're changing up the weapons. So there are Milky Way weapons, which are from our solar system. which are what you're used to in 2 and 3. 2 and 3, they changed the weapons up and made them have ammo. Right. Instead of just being laser weapons that you have to control the heating. There are also going to be those laser weapons where you can control the heating. There's weapon customization. So you can have a shotgun, but you can upgrade your shotgun to make it shoot grenades instead of regular shotgun shells.
So from what it sounds like you're selling here is you always have your people that loved Mass Effect 2 and then your people that love Mass Effect 1. And those people will appreciate the other, but they will swear by their version of it.
Yes. You and me are those people.
Yes. I am a Mass Effect 2 guy. Yes. I think that was the epitome of that franchise. Where you like 1 better.
Yes, 1 is my favorite.
Because you're wrong. And I do appreciate 1. 1 is a great game. 2 is better. But with that being said, I think it's a nice. What it sounds like you're pitching here is a combination of both.
It does. To me, it sounds like the happy medium. And the villain, I also like that it's not the Reapers again. It's one guy, it kind of seems like. So it reminds me of Saren again. Which Saren, in my opinion, was the best villain in Mass Effect. Yeah, don't roll.
Get off of Mass Effect 1's dick, man. Jeez.
But I'm really excited for it. I also like that for the first time in the series, you don't pick a class. So in Mass Effect, you usually pick Soldier, Biotic, Engineer. This time, as soon as you start the game, you have multiple trees. You can customize your character as you want. If I want to be Biotic and Engineer, I can right off the bat. And I can have abilities from each. If I want to be all 3, I can.
Fair enough. I'm going to be a soldier.
Okay.
Because I'd take no prisoners.
I like Biotics usually more.
I mean, I would love to bust in the room in Mass Effect and be like, I'm John Shepard, I'm the greatest ever, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then take everybody out. That's the sound of a gun going off, taking everybody out.
Okay.
That was me, by the way. That wretched smell traveling through.
Yeah. Good thing my nose is clogged.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't want any parts of this, buddy. All right.
On the list.
A little one thing I want to get into, because we mentioned Sonic earlier, which is made by Team Sega.
Yes, good old Sega.
Shenmue 1 and 2 are definitely getting remastered in 2017.
Now, do we know what they're coming to?
No.
Okay. 1, I've never played Shenmue. I always wanted to.
I'm looking for the man who killed my father.
And when the announcement happened for the new Shenmue coming out that was getting kickstarted, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I don't really understand why people are excited.
Because Shenmue 2 ended on a cliffhanger.
So, I'm actually excited that I could get to play these games for the first time. Hopefully on my PS4. 100% is going to be on the new PS4. I'm going to assume that the 2 remasters will be. I don't know if they'll be on anything else.
I think they'll have to come out for the Switch. Sega and Nintendo have always been like buddies now, so I don't see why they would diss Nintendo like that.
I want to say yes, but I'm pretty sure there are a few games like Valkyria Chronicles. That is a Sega-made game, but it's only on PlayStation. So as much as I would agree that Sega and Nintendo have always had their connection, I think Sega and Nintendo have always had their partnership more with Sonic. More with the lighter-hearted games than I would say the more adult games. Sega also owns Atlas, which Atlas are the people that make Persona and stuff like that, which Persona is usually just for PlayStation. Granted, we do know a Shin Megami Tensei, which is also made by Atlas, is going to be on the Switch.
I'm just saying Shenmue 1 and 2 was originally slated for a Wii U release. So I would be surprised if there wasn't a Switch release of some sort.
Okay.
Also, while we're on the subject of Shenmue and going back to old, wonderful things, Call of Duty, the new one coming out this year, November most likely, rumored to go back to its roots, or they said pretty much they're going back to the roots. What does this mean?
This is interesting to me.
They're going to come back on their 360.
Now, I'm curious if
No to that one, no.
Huh? No.
They're not going to come out? Okay.
No. I'm curious if they mean, obviously one would be gameplay. If they're going to cut back to a more simple gameplay like the old Call of Duties, where it wasn't so much running and jetpacking around the walls. It was just kind of run and gun on the grounds type of thing. stealing some of my water.
I do. I'm coughing up a storm over here. I just watch you taking a sip. I'm like, what a jackass. I'm dying over here.
Now, I'm curious if that also means, though, if they're going to go back setting-wise.
That's exactly what I thought they were saying. I doubt they're going to touch the gameplay. I mean, the new Call of Duty gameplay is what makes the game special. Do I think they're going to cut down on, like, running on walls and stuff? Yeah, but to, like, get rid of slide and the ability to sprint, jump, and all that, I think that's got to stay in. I just think they mean they're going back to World War II, obviously.
Now, see, I wonder if that means they're going back to World War II, which obviously did well for Battlefield, going to World War I. Or if it means they're going to go back to a more realistic time period, like with the Modern Warfare series. Because that was kind of when the series peaked.
Right. But with that being said, I feel like they did the World War II thing. They released 3 games. Right? They did the Modern Warfare thing, released 3 games. And now we've done futuristic 3 games in a row as well.
True.
So I would say this time.
You know what? Battlefield went back to World War I, even further than any game. Revolutionary War.
That game
Call of Duty.
That game would be awful, man.
You gotta sit there and...
With a musket? Come on, man. That'd never work.
Slowly
what was
push
the
your
other
ball
game
down?
that attempted that? The History Channel game? That attempted that. That was awful, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, let me just... Okay, now I'm gonna... Once I load this... And then if you messed up loading the gun, you had to do it all over again.
That was obviously a joke on my part, but I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to go to World War II because although I do think a lot of people want them to go back to World War II,
I don't.
I would like them to. Don't get me wrong. I do miss my bolt action rifles and stuff like that. But right now I get that from Battlefield. I don't want 2 games doing the same thing again.
That was my biggest issue when Call of Duty went modern. All the competition went modern. To me, it would be such a slap in the face if Battlefield went back and now all of a sudden Call of Duty goes back. And I understand you probably hit a wall with this futuristic thing. Go another direction then. You know what I mean? Figure something out. I don't. Whether maybe Revolutionary War. There it is. I don't know, something. Civil War.
Yeah.
You can pick which side. That would be awful.
Come to find out, the South is still racist.
Yeah,
In actual America, they should like the Reds and Blues of what picked what. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they went back to a more modern era, but you know, kind of did their own custom spin on it without having to stick within us.
All right, let's see. So, I mean, because let's be honest, so we want another Call of Duty that takes place in the Middle East. If you're going to do modern era, I want to do a game where we're invading North Korea or something. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Or Russia.
Russia.
Things with Russia right now are very intense. Sorry.
Chill out, bro. We're good.
But I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. Or maybe a modern day version of the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
Great Britain comes back, wants to retake America.
All right, yeah. No, you can go ahead and put that with the bad ideas pile.
I hate you.
No, it's over there.
Okay, all right.
Did you put it yet?
Yeah, it's there.
You're not moving. All right, much better. So that's a bad idea pile over there. Yeah, I would like to, or you know what would be neat?
I swear to fucking God,
something like Call of Duty Ghost, but we'll take it a little more modern time, where somebody comes and invades us. You know, Red Dawn style.
Pile.
I like this idea.
I liked mine. Pile.
Yours was awful, though.
I don't care. Yours is pretty bad.
Great Britain's going to really come over here. What are they going to do?
I just said the exact same thing as you, but I gave it to an actual nation, and that's where the problem lies.
That was the issue as Great Britain. Were they going to come over and argue with us?
Yeah. Maybe.
Mr. Willie, I disagree with you. Yeah, no, that's not the way
Pile.
it works.
If I had to put mine in the pile, you have to put yours in the pile.
And then you get one of these.
All right, whatever. He gave me the bird for those of you that can't see.
I did, because it was a good idea. Because I mentioned Red Dawn, the movie.
Yeah, and then you brought up Call of Duty Ghost, which was a horrible game.
Do you like Ghost?
I did not like Ghost.
I didn't hate it. There hasn't been a Call of Duty I really hated except for Black Ops 3.
Really?
I did not like Black Ops 3.
Okay. I haven't liked the Call of Duty since 4, personally.
You didn't like Advanced Warfare?
I did not.
What about Infinity War?
I actually didn't play the campaign for that, so I can't comment on its campaign, but the multiplayer was ass.
Your face is ass.
Well, it's a nice ass then.
It's your opinion. Which you're wrong about. Or not correct. Either way, I don't know the direction. I'm very afraid it's just going back to World War II, though.
Yeah, I kind of hope it doesn't, because once again, I already have that with Battlefield. Even though it's World War I, not World War II, I just kind of don't want two games in the same.
Yeah, if you're fighting Germans, it's close enough. There was a game, I want to say it was Battlefield, that came out back in the day. It was during World War II as well, but what made the game unique was it was a game that we, as American soldiers, we lost the battle.
Okay.
And I thought that was a neat concept. So maybe they'll do something like that. Do a unique battle throughout history, something really famous, and do their own spin on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to do the invasion of Normandy or anything like that because it's been done 1,000 times over and over. If I do it one more time, by this point, I'm going to get on the boat and go the opposite direction. I'm just done with it. So, while we're on the subject...
To a New Horizon? Is that where you'd go on the boat?
Yes. Horizon to a Zero and a Dawn. How have the reviews been on it? Horizon Zero Dawn.
Really good, actually. A few mixed, but mostly really well received.
Mostly really well received. Mostly, huh?
Yes.
So that means 9s.
Mostly 9s, yeah. So we go on Metacritic. It has an 88 Metacritic score right now.
Ooh, that's really good.
With a 100, a 98, a 95, a 90.
The 100 was the game developer that reviewed it, right?
No. Some company called Toronto Sun.
They're Canadian. They gotta be nice, eh?
And then Game Over Online gave it a 98. I know that IGN gave it a 9.3, which is a 93. Yeah, so it's been pretty well received, especially for a new IP.
I'm not shocked. The game looked really good.
I agree.
The game looked really well polished. So I said the only thing that will hold this back from a bad review is a terrible campaign, which as long as you have the coolest concept ever, so I don't know how you're going to mess that up, and obviously they didn't. And a glitchy rush game, which it didn't look like that at all.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this is, we both mentioned we're picking this up. The thing I'm most excited about is picking it up so we can compare it to something that comes out on the 3rd.
Zelda.
Which is the one I'm excited for.
Yes.
Because I'm a real American.
Look, Nintendo
Fighting for every man.
They're not even American companies.
I'm a real American.
I'm not doing anything. Stop it. All right. Look, I'm excited for both. I like that Horizon's doing something very different with the story.
Open world game with machines taking over. Yeah, I've never done that before. It was brand new. It was weird.
An open world empty game where I can ride a horse, and a bad guy named Ganon is the final boss. Wow, how many times have I done that? It's okay. I'll wait. You have to count. I'm sure.
Not enough, sir. Not enough. You're stepping on thin ice right now, buddy. Watch your damn mouth.
I'm excited for both as well.
I agree. I am very excited.
These reviews have really made me more excited for Horizon. I was excited for it to begin with, but hearing how well it is, some people are saying it's Sony's second best IP ever, only second to The Last of Us.
I've seen that. I wrote that in my notes, and then I didn't write it down. What was it? It runs 30 frames.
On the PS4 Pro.
Yes.
Solid 30 frames a second on PS4 Pro.
Which is pretty great.
Yeah.
And then the gameplay is very reminiscent of Last of Us. Which, if that's the case, that is amazing, because Last of Us played beautifully.
I agree.
Although that game was amazing for its narrative note and its story, the gameplay of Last of Us made you feel immersed. To the point where I forgot I was playing sometimes. My hands were moving, but it felt so smooth. And I'm hoping if that's what they're saying it plays like, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I want a smooth game, you know what I mean? I don't like that awkward feeling where, if I don't angle something right or, don't hit something right, my character glitches out or falls sideways. You know what I mean? I want to do all the cool things I've seen in the controller, like tame a beast, hack into them, ride them, arrow while I'm on top of them and stuff like that.
I can agree 100% with that.
I think it's very bold for a new IP coming out to have a female character front and center.
I think it No, I would say no.
Nowadays, I would agree.
Especially with characters like Ellie.
What I say is bold about her is the fact that she isn't...
She's a redhead?
Besides a redhead, you know what I mean? I doubt we're going to, I doubt that's where I was going. She's not a Lara Croft, though, you know what I mean? It's, Lara Croft, for beauty, is what kind of defines her. But this girl looks like she's just rough and ready to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. That being said, yeah, we're both really excited for Horizon, and I know we're both also really excited for the other game, Zelda.
Zelda what?
Breath of the Wild.
What was the review so far for that?
It got one review.
One review. What was it?
10.
Oh, well, is that a perfect score?
It is, but it was by Edge. Who's Edge?
It's a company that does amazing reviews.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What other reviews have you seen by them?
I've seen a few. They did a review on Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
What'd they give it?
They gave it a 10.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So if I Google Edge review, Super Smash Brothers?
Probably not. I think you're getting caught up in the logistics of it, and we're not worried about it. The point being is Zelda got a perfect score so far. Let's be honest, though. Most likely Zelda is going to get close to perfect scores. Because,
I agree.
And you said earlier over lunch, I wanted to smack you, but you weren't wrong. There is a jaded way that reviewers look at Zelda.
What Zelda reminds me of when I'm thinking about it now is a lot of what people do with Bethesda. Bethesda games, when they come out, always have horrible glitches. They're always broken games. Yet people seem to let them slide for it. People are like, oh, that's part of the charm for Bethesda. It's okay that they had these glitches. It's what I expect. But if another game had those same glitches, it'd be a problem. So that's what kind of bothers me about this whole Zelda thing right now. Now, we both haven't played it, obviously. For all I know, this Zelda could be the next coming of Jesus. It could be like another Last of Us. You need some more water? I still got some more in there.
I got a little bit. We haven't played it. I have dreamed and fantasized about it, you know what I mean, many times. You know what I mean? There's a lot of happy moments in my life. My children being born, the day I got married. Meeting you was special. Nothing compares to the Zelda release, though. You know what I mean? I can't wait to be looking at my first grandbaby and talking to him. Like, what's the happiest day of your life? And I'd be like, Breath of the Wild release.
What I will say is, I think a lot of people, when it comes to the review of this game, are going to compare it more to previous Zelda titles than they're going to do comparing it to games of the same genre. Because you could argue that Horizon and Zelda are very similar.
You could.
And, I think that might be one of our podcasts alone. Could probably be a full episode of us comparing the two.
With that being said, is it Zelda's fault? Who knows? It's not like...
No, I agree.
They're developing something just similar happened to come out around the same time. So with that being said, how many games have been dungeon crawlers and people call them Zelda clones?
Dark Side is a perfect example.
Yes. Really good game.
Really good, but it is a clone of Zelda, just a darker tone. It's okay that Zelda borrows stuff from other games. My only problem is that when Zelda does it, I feel like it's one of those things that people put it on a pedestal. Oh my God, Zelda did this. It's amazing.
So the problem is no, I'm not going to do it.
But if another game does it, I feel like people are just kind of like, been there, done that, seen it before, another open world. But Zelda's doing it, and people are like, oh my God, Zelda's open world?
I think what you're trying to say is the glasses I have on is what people have on with all the Marvel movies. Let all things go. Let Marvel does it. Anybody else attempts it, jerks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I can see that. So.
But we'll get off this topic. We have one more topic, and that was the Virtual Console.
Is it Breath of the Wild?
No, it's not Breath of the Wild.
Can we talk about Breath of the Wild again?
No more Breath of the Wild until next week.
All right. You don't trust me? I'm done. You're right. We are big boys. We have a responsibility and a duty to do to people.
Yes.
And that is to give them information about the Virtual Console.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start off with this information. I'll start it off if you like.
Okay.
Nintendo has made an announcement that March 3rd, Breath of the Wild comes out, and I'm so excited.
God, I hate you.
Oh, man. It is going to be amazing. Just a little pitching it out there to people that are on the fence about the Switch. This is the first time we're getting voice acting in Zelda. It is an open world experience. It is glorious with an HD look to it. Very dark term for Zelda. It is rated E10 for some more mature content in this game. Originally, they were going for a teen rating. It didn't happen.
Oops.
So, there it is. Oh, you had something to say? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Oh, I apologize. Yeah. Okay.
The virtual console. Can we talk about that for the Switch?
Virtual console.
Go.
Virtual console. I'm like what my wife thought it was. Virtual reality. She's so cute, isn't she?
That made me laugh. That was good.
Virtual console, for those who don't know, is your digital download of games on your marketplaces, i.e. your old Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games, and 64 games you can download on the other Nintendo systems. How is that looking for the Switch on release?
Not happening.
Not happening. Have they given us a date when the marketplace is going to be up?
No. But on this topic, Mark wrote into the Enthusiast, just like you can, and says, "Hey, Enthusiast, my name is Mark, and I have a question for you that happened this week. Nintendo has announced that there will be no virtual console for the Switch's launch. Do you think that will hurt the sales on the system and its success?"
Thanks, Mark, for this legit question. I appreciate it. Do I think it's going to hurt the Switch's sales? Initially, no, of course. You're going to have that bandwagon jumping on.
It's sold out.
It's sold out. It's not like anybody's going to show up to Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy, Wally World, Nintendo Place, Zabo's living room, and, say, "Excuse me, what? This doesn't have virtual games?" No, thank you, sir. Return mine.
Yeah.
More likely they would sell it.
I agree. I think, one, the Switch is sold out, and it was sold out before the announcement of there even being virtual console for the system. So I'm pretty sure this isn't going to affect the sales. Will it affect later sales?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think the Switch's issue right now is there isn't so much coming out, or even enough proof of enough coming out, that hardcore gamers outside of Nintendo fans are going to leap right on it.
I agree. I mean, even me being a Nintendo fanboy, I'm very disappointed with this lineup. Now, I understand Breath of the Wild is supposed to be this ridiculous, massive, amazing game. I am a very unique gamer, I think, and I don't like just playing one game at a time, because I get easily bored. And as much as I love Zelda, I need to play something else at the same exact time. I was hoping for a bigger lineup, so I would have those options. Right now, as it stands, I have Breath of the Wild and Bomberman.
Yeah, all I have is Breath of the Wild.
Merc?
I did.
Because I'm not too happy about that. So I am getting Bomberman because it's literally the only other single-player campaign you have coming out.
Yeah, I literally just have Zelda. I do think not having the virtual console at launch is a miss on Nintendo.
Yes.
Because having that would have been such a great selling point to be able to go, hey, we have the whole catalog of our Nintendo titles, Super Nintendo, N64, and some of the Wii titles that didn't just require the motion controls.
Right. With that being said, have you heard any of the rumors on why it hasn't been launched?
No. Have you?
Yes.
Okay. So
one of them is the big attempt to put the big GameCube library on there.
See, now that was my own theory that I was thinking of.
Once again, this is just a rumor floating around. As we know, we haven't got GameCube on the virtual market yet.
Yes.
Because of just vast variety of those games and how, a lot of the big famous ones were just huge games.
That being said, and I do agree with you, I do think it actually has to do with that. They had the virtual console out for the Wii, right? N64 games were added later. Why can't they release the virtual console right off the bat with N64, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo titles? Add the GameCube later.
Maybe Nintendo's worried that if they do that, the only game they'll sell is Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's probably a good point too.
Because I'm going to be honest, am I picking up Bomberman?
Yeah.
And why am I picking up Bomberman?
Because there's nothing else. Yeah.
So Nintendo, you friggin' worked.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, for Nintendo to get third-party support, third-party isn't going to put games on the Switch if their games aren't selling on the Switch
or not being taken top priority.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm developing a game for you and then you have 45 other 1,000 games you can buy in front of me, I'd be a little disappointed.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Maybe Nintendo's like, you know what? All right, we'll hold off on Virtual Console and stuff so that these third parties can get some sales.
Ooh, you know what would be real messed up, Nintendo? Off of Virtual Console until the internet starts getting charged. Oh, that'd be such a slap in the face.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be getting your Super NES or NES titles until then anyway, so...
I doubt they'd wait that long. With that being said, what about like if I wanted to do a download version of Breath of the Wild?
That's still up. eShop is still up. So any titles that come out for the Switch digitally will be available, as well as the digital-only titles.
Right, like World of Goo.
And Shovel Knight.
And for... I love Shovel Knight. That's such a good game. Is it coming out? I'm going to get that.
Shovel Knight will come with both expansions as well, Plague Knight and Spectre Knight.
Shovel Knight was really good.
It was really good. Yeah, I mean, hopefully Nintendo can get the eShop. I think a Virtual Console is up by summer, because other than Splatoon, I didn't see anything else coming in the summer for the Switch. And I think summer's usually that dry spurt for games. Like, there's really not much coming out.
Spout was right, man.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
All right. Well, either way, I really think that if you do that, if you have the Virtual Console come out in the summer, that'd be a great time.
Summer would be good. Spring would be good. Anytime would be good, as long as it's not too far away.
I think holiday would be the part where they would mess up.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Because there's so many big titles coming out.
Especially if they do. If they do GameCube games, I would love to play Super Mario Sunshine before Mario Odyssey.
Same.
Sunshine was a great game.
100%. I missed that game.
Who doesn't? I remember when it was coming out, and I was like, what is this garbage?
Can you believe Galaxy got 2 games, but Sunshine can't?
1.
What the hell's wrong with this
It's
world?
because the GameCube was just spectacular and amazing. You know what I mean? I still swear by that system. Remember Beautiful Joe?
Beautiful Joe was amazing.
It was such a good
And I don't
game.
know why Capcom isn't releasing more of them.
Because they hate us.
Good point.
That is why. And it's as simple as that.
Maybe Capcom will listen to this podcast.
Capcom, let Beautiful Joe out. I want to be with him. I want to play with him. I miss the way he smells.
Hashtag let beautiful live.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Live beautifully.
Ooh. Was the GameCube like the best system ever?
Not ever.
I mean, I think it was. That was.
I think it was a really good system. But
what is your opinion of the peak of systems?
I would probably argue PS2 and Super Nintendo are my favorite. But game-wise, I don't know. I really think the stuff we're getting now for video games are just great. In a story aspect, you know? I mean, this is the first time I think the media is really being taken seriously.
Darkness. Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, but how many of those did we get back then?
Fatal Frame.
Really? Fatal Frame?
Yeah, really. I agree with you on the PS2 aspect only because of the huge library you got. PS2 was a pretty badass system too. Plus Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty came out on it.
Yeah. And Snake Eater.
Was.
My favorite Metal Gear.
Yeah, Snake Eater was good.
That should just
about
wrap it up.
So, yeah, just about done. One more question for you. What are you more excited about? All right, the Horizon Zero Dawn or the amazing Nintendo Switch getting released on March 3rd, Friday. So that gives you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to play Horizon Zero Dawn. Except you're going to be working a lot.
Yeah.
Now, you're doing the download version of Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Yeah.
So you'll be able to play it Tuesday at midnight or?
Well, Monday at 9 p.m.
Really?
They're letting you play before midnight, yeah. So 9 p.m.
Why do you guys get it at 9?
That's actually why physical copies got released at 9.
Oh, I know. I'm getting mine.
Yeah.
I actually got it already.
Yeah.
That's a lie. I wish it'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so we get it. We can start at 9 p.m. as well. But I won't be able to play it anyway. Because I'll be at work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it is.
Oh, you fucking jackass.
Well, you know, that's what it is. All right. Well, this has been episode 13 of The Enthusiast. Once again, I apologize for my raspy voice and for my friend over here who sounds like he has 2 fingers up his nose. But we are doing a unboxing video of the Switch come the 3rd.
Yes.
We're very excited about. I want to try to get those uploaded extremely. Our first thoughts of the Switch, our first reaction to it. You're finally going to get to see one of our beautiful faces probably in the video. Or maybe just our hands. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be a mystery.
You're actually going to get both models too, because you have the red and blue.
I do have the red
and I have the gray, so we'll open both of those up for people to see.
We might even use our new beautiful table we bought for the office.
Yes.
Sir, we are moving on up. We've invested money into this podcast.
Yeah. New table.
So it is.
We're going places.
I agree. We are going places. So if you enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that, like button. Not even give you the option for the other one. Don't give us that thumbs down. That's why babies cry if you hit a thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe because it just makes us feel good. And it will make ice cream better for you.
Ooh.
That's what I heard.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Also, please leave a comment down below. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, and Twitch, as well as to send us some more emails. We kind of we actually seem to be getting them, but it seems to only be about 1 a week. So it'd be nice if a bunch of you would email us and we could have like a whole segment of just emailed questions.
And feel free to ask us anything, personal questions. I'm willing to give you Will Zabo's credit card number, house address, phone number, license plate, list of fears, anything you need.
Why is it all my information?
I'm not giving out mine. Are you
Fuck
crazy?
you.
There's some crazies out in the world, man. All right, have a good one.
We are out.